Greetings, Benjamin J. from BENZTRAINZ with another in the series. Well, a follow-up on that Marx 595 that arrived today. I don't have the light on in the camera because this glossy paint reflects so bad. Anyway, I got a message from Terry asking me, since it was green, if I was going to run it with the army train that I built. And I told him it wouldn't match. But actually, looking at this paint and the army train itself, it's actually very close in color. It's just this is flat paint. This is semi-gloss paint. But the color is actually quite close, as you see. So, in any case, this is the old army train I assembled out of old junk parts and painted it green. And it's an eclectic mix of couplers. We've got tab and slot, plastic tilt, tab and slot, metal tilt, and like I said, it's just assembled out of old parts. It's all 3/16 four-wheel trucks, as you see. But it was just old junk parts, rusted, beat to death. The only way to save it, of course, was to paint it. So I painted it green and turned it into an army train. So I've got the 595 on the rail with the army train coupled to it. Let's take this around and see how it runs. As you see, that's running really smoothly. That's about 40% power, pulling 10 tin litho cars. All four-wheel trucks, of course. So this actually doesn't look too bad. Let's take it up to 50%. All right, there's 50% power. I did change the light bulb to a brighter bulb. As you see, that locomotive is running absolutely perfectly, and it actually looks quite good. This is running nice and smooth, nice and quiet, plenty of power. So a fairly decent army train made out of junk, and that 595 that was repainted actually looks quite respectable. And as you see, this is running just absolutely splendidly. Like I said, I did change the light bulb and put a brighter bulb in it. So in any case, traded the locomotive for that Lionel caboose, and I got a message from Terry asking me if I was going to run that 595 with the army train, and I told him I wasn't really thinking about it because I didn't think they would match. But the colors are actually quite close. Like I said, the locomotive is semi-gloss. The cars themselves are flat paint. But the color is actually quite close. Anyway, so I might just leave this 595 with this. This actually looks quite good. It runs absolutely splendidly, as you can see. It is really smooth. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it's running really, really smooth. So an army train built from genuine junk. I mean, this was some really, really nasty old cars. Covered in rust, all the graphics were gone, just in dreadful condition. The only way to save it was to paint it, so I figured if I had to paint them all, I would just put an army train together. Went down to Menards, got a tank. Truck came from Dollar Tree, I think. Mounted them on those flat cars. So this actually looks quite good and runs just absolutely perfectly, as you can tell. Running really, really well. So I'm pleased with it. I was surprised the colors were actually so close. So it definitely looks like an army train, no doubt about that. So the 595 is up and running splendidly. This old train built out of some real junk. No doubt about that. But brings us back to what I always say, don't overlook the junk. Just because something's junk when you get it, doesn't mean it's going to be junk when you're finished with it. So a bunch of old dilapidated cars that were just in dreadful condition. A quick coat of this green paint, a couple of drops of oil, all mixed couplers, tab and slot, metal tilt, plastic tilt. But as you see, once it's assembled, it actually looks quite respectable and runs just absolutely perfectly. So the Marx Army train, made out of old junk cars, and this new 595. So I'm happy with it. This came out actually quite good. It runs nice, it looks nice. I don't think anyone would object to owning this. It's actually quite respectable looking, considering what it's made out of course. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick video on that 595. Like I said, Terry asked me if I was going to run it with the Army train. I wasn't really going to, because I didn't think they would even be close in color. But actually, they're quite close in color. The only real difference is this one is semi-gloss, and these are all flat. I use flat paint because it hides most of the rust damage on these cars. Anyway, it worked. It actually looks quite good. It runs perfectly, as you see. And it's running really, really smooth and quiet. So it's really difficult to beat that. As you can see, this is running just absolutely splendidly, even at slow speed. So again, in any case, I gotta say it, don't overlook the junk. This 595 traded for that Lionel caboose. The entire rest of the train is just beat to death old Marx cars. They were just dreadful condition, covered in rust. All the graphics were gone, paint damage. But they're all 3/16 four-wheel trucks, as you see. Coupled to this 595 makes a pretty respectable looking Army train. So I just wanted to do a quick video. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email, BENZTRAINZ@gmail.com. And as always, thank you for watching.